What's up, everybody? I was going to do a flush cut flush off with zip ties, but I have a variety here that is not going to be too fair. So we're going to start off with this little variety right here. We have from least expensive to most expensive right here. I'll start off with the Plato. These are your usual $5 chuck nippers here, flush cutters, whatever you want to call them, on eBay or Amazon. And they're quite high now. They're probably about $8 now. So they've gone up, and you're just your typical stamped steel flush cut here. They do wire as well, so it's not just going to be for plastic. But yeah, all these three do soft wire as well. So they're kind of a multi-use. And yeah, if you're just your everyday person that wants to flush cut zip ties and you don't really care about the quality, just get your $2 chuck here, or $10 chuck almost, and do the flush cutting. So what is flush cutting, and why am I doing this video? Because some people choose to cut their zip ties for the next person like this, and they don't care. These will never get flush, and even if you cut them like this, that's about it. That's as flush as you can cut them, and they still have a sharp edge on them. They rip your glove, and yeah, you're just gonna make it worse for the next person. But oh, what about if you're working on your own car and you don't want to make it worse for yourself, or you just want to do a nice, clean, tidy job when you have your harnesses laid out? You want a nice, clean job. This ain't gonna cut it. So you get your typical everyday $2 chuck ones here, and yeah, not bad here. Gets it right to the point, gets the job done, looks good. And there you go, stamped steel. You got a little spring-loaded deal here built in the handle. These Platos are still available. They only cut a 1mm diameter copper wire, so yeah, that's it's good for all around small stuff. And yeah, it's just your typical cutter there. And next up here we have the Doyle. So we'll just grab another zip tie here. These are already opened up in a past video. I just wanted to show the case again, or the packaging that comes in again. These will run you about $10, and they are not insulated, so it says conductive right on the handle. Once again, stamped steel with a spring built into the handle on this side. There's probably some rivet in there, and it's stamped steel that holds the spring and keeps it there. The rivet's a little bit nicer than the Plato. Plato is just a stamped rivet. This one's stamped with the washer, a little bit thicker, as you can see. So might be a little bit upgrade there. It looks like a little bit thicker steel on it. I did have to search through a couple of these to find one that is nice and pointed and even. This one's still a little bit off on one side, and the grind was a little bit off on a few of them. So yeah, you're gonna have to dig through a couple. Another mid-range brand, I think the Hacko has a couple. There's a couple other brands that are mid-range that you can find that look similar to these. And yeah, just your typical flush cuts here. Looks like the Doyle is a little thicker. There's a lifetime warranty on it. If anybody below knows the warranty on these and how they deal with Doyle stuff, you can comment down below to help someone out on the warranty side of this. But it does say lifetime 100% guarantee on it. So it's carbon steel construction for long-lasting durability, and it is ESD safe, so electrostatic discharge safe. And then just describes the rest on that. So these are 5 inchers. Yeah, $10 at Harbor Freight gets you this, and yeah, all black. Don't leave it under a hood because you'll lose it. These can easily hide under a hood somewhere in an area that's dark, inside the under the dash or something, under the seat. So yeah, these will run away on you. So I can see that already right now. Let's grab a zip tie and compare there. Once again, this is not going to be kind of a zip tie zip off here, whatever you want to call it. It's just going to be more of what's the right flush cut for you. And that was a little bit quieter. It doesn't shoot it off like the other one. So these are brand new also as well. So yeah, it sticks out a little bit compared to the Plato. Yeah, it does stick out a little bit. Let me go up one more step here and try it again and get as flush as I can. Oh, there goes. It snapped off right there. I must have made a weird cut. That's another reason too why I can't do kind of like a little flush cut, flush off here, because yeah, it wouldn't be. It all depends on how I cut it. So yeah, pretty much same job there on the Harbor Freight Doyle brand, and here we have probably the most expensive out of all of these that I have is the Knipex, which I showed in my KC Tool Haul video, 7942-125Z. It'll cut aluminum and soft wire up to 3 millimeters, it looks like, or 1.3, or I think that's 1.3. They use a comma on their handles. Yeah, very consistent cut on it. We have a bolt instead of a rivet, or a screw instead of a rivet, and we have these spring-loaded little bits here. I don't know if these will shift out of place over time, but they do feel nice and sturdy in there. Feels very consistent. And yeah, we can do a cut on this and compare it right now. Let's see how these do it. And yeah, it shoots it off. Once again, it's just gonna be the same as the rest, but it feels very consistent. I can have a consistent cut every time. So I used them for a little bit. Yeah, it just feel nice and consistent. Yeah, these will run you about $100 almost on the KC Tool website. So yeah, these are gonna be a little bit more extensive on your choice there. It has a nice soft grip on it, soft plastic, and yeah, they're really lightweight. Not as heavy as these. These are stamped steel, so they're gonna be heavier. So yeah, these are really lightweight, so it reduces fatigue. And with these style here that I'm showing first, they get in a tight, compact places. Well, this one too, it's a little bit more harsh on your hands because it's a little smaller here, but yeah, these will get into tight places where you're normally gonna be when you're doing wire harnesses and all that. So yeah, this is the nice one to have if you're gonna be doing this, not something huge like this icon here. I don't really know the purpose of this. If you're gonna just be using it to cut zip ties, you have this huge handle here, and most of the times you're gonna be underneath the dash or somewhere, and this is just gonna be way too large, unless you want something long enough to reach into an area. These might be more useful. So yeah, I want to get on to these ones next here. So let's put this off to the side here. These are the Tsunoda Special Tools. This is the KBN 125, very popular lately. And this one's specifically made for zip ties. So it clearly shows you that it's made for zip ties, and it cuts flush on there. And yeah, I got these off of Amazon. These were only 20 bucks, and I believe I sold out all of them because as soon as I posted this, and a couple other people posted these as well, they were sold out. So the only ones available now are the 6-inch. So these are 5-inch, I think. Yeah, these are 5-inch. And oh, I didn't notice this. This is the forging process on it. That is pretty cool right there. That's heat treatment, machining, forging, polishing, Takumi, whatever that is, and inspection. Very nice. That's a whole process. They really put a lot of thought into these. So yeah, up to it still cuts aluminum, looks like there. Yeah, cuts wire as well. So yeah, it's gonna be like these as well. So, but it is specifically made for zip ties, as we can clearly see here. Other than that, I cannot read what is on here. So yeah, the other feature that it has is that it pulls the zip tie for you. So in a tight space, you have this nice gripped area to pull. And instead of trying to reach in your fingers, whatever you want in that certain area, there is argument on where you could just use the blade edges and pull on it and just not cut all the way, and yeah, you save some time there. But it is all about your preference. And there's another area down here. I don't know if this pulls the end of the zip tie. Here, let me get a little closer here so you can see it does not grab a standard size zip tie. It slips off. So this is going to be for your thicker zip ties. I guess that's why they put it here, so you can get more grab on the thicker zip ties. And this one should be able to do your smallest zip ties. This is the smallest one I have at the moment. So just to grab the end right here, it does have a good grab on it for the little tiny zip ties. So that's about it right there. As you can see through the window right there, that is about as small as it gets. And you can see the grind is super flush. So if you really want to get in on something, you have a lot of surface area here to get in on something else. If you want to cut other types of plastic, super flush, that is cool right there how the grind is. And yeah, it is very precision ground. It's very symmetrical, as we can see. And then the cut on the inside, there's another step down in there. Very nice, made in Japan, except for the grip could be a little bit better. It's very tiny. It can probably cause a little fatigue later on. And yeah, there's no stopper on there. You just heard the blade kind of skip on itself. So yeah, just be careful on what you cut. You can end up dulling out the blade pretty fast. Let's go back to the blade on the Knipex. It does cave in on a little bit. Nicely ground on there. The second step is flush. So it is, as we could tell with the zip tie cutting, it is pretty flush still, even though it has that step on it. And then it has 2 steps on the inside with the Knipex. And the Doyle has just 1 step on this side and 1 step on the other side, as we could see right there. Just 1 step, and you have to sift through several packages to find the best grind on that. The Plato here have just a little tiny grind on the end. That's all you get. Stamp steel and 1 grind on this side and a tiny grind on the end. But I've been using these for quite some time. As you can see, they're dirty. What's cool about these, you can just chuck them in a drawer and not have to worry about dropping them, and you can still cut some wire as well. So durability on these, hopefully they're the same on both of these right there. These ones are pricey. I would be a little bit more careful on chucking these around, but yeah, since they cut wire, I wouldn't be too gentle, crazy on being gentle with that one. Yeah, these ones, yeah, I wish they were adjustable, but yeah, these should have at least a good life on them. Let's get on to the next one here, the lovely Icon. Let me zoom out here. As you clearly see, they're trying to simulate the snap-on. They have a lifetime guarantee, 3/4 jaw capacity. So you get, with the bigger pliers, you get a bigger jaw capacity. I already feel them being a little stiff, just like the snap-on as well. And they copied that also as well. I'm not a fan of stiff pliers, so I'm not really much of a fan of snap-on pliers. Yeah, just a 6-inch. And oh yeah, the 6-inch on this one is the only one available on Amazon right now. So yeah, 38 bucks for the 6-inch on that. So keep an eye on the smaller one. Hopefully that will be out soon for 20 bucks. These will run you 35 bucks. I believe they were 40 bucks when they first came out, but they went down to 35 bucks. I picked these up, I think when they were 40. I'm not sure. I had these for a while. I've been waiting. I've been trying to do this video for a long time now. And I also opened these up too. I checked them out real quick. Not much of a description here. It's heat treated steel. Once again, with a lifetime warranty here. They are made in Taiwan, designed by Icon in USA. I believe the Icon has a little bit better warranty. So yeah, once again, chime down below on the warranty. And we get this nice little cover here to protect the tip there. So yeah, guaranteed, the typical person that's gonna buy these are gonna chuck them in their drawer and not worry too much about the tip. They are quite thin compared to the rest of the heavy weight here. So if you do drop these, yeah, they will damage the end on here. At least the grind is nice and uniform here. So 1 grind on one side, and we have 2 grinds on the other side. and it's once again stiff, no spring loaded on this. So these are gonna have to be oiled and broken in. And yeah, at least the handle's cushy. Oh, did I squeeze them too hard here? Yeah, don't squeeze too hard on these because they are made for plastic, and yeah, it must have skipped over something right there. But yeah, it's still good. They're both sides on the cut, so you gotta be careful with that. What was that right there? Let's check it out. See if I damaged them or not. This video is going to be quite long, so bear with me here. Let's do a cut, see if I damage it. Let's try it towards the bottom down here first. So you do get a nice cut there. Sticks out a little bit. Let's go towards the end. So these will have hopefully a good reach. That jumped back on me. See, all depends on how I cut it. So let's try one more time here. Yeah, pretty much it. And yeah, plastic and soft wire only. So you still can cut some soft aluminum wire or copper wire with these. Oh, they are oiled already. So yeah, definitely have to be broken into. I don't know what that snapping sound is. Yeah. So, we'll have to see how these last. They are quite thin, as you can see the edge right here. At least they can fit into tight places on how they kind of chamfered it right there. So it is nice to get into tight places to cut things flush wherever you need to. So they're not going to be bulky like a regular pair of cutters here. That's a lot of bulk right there. So you try to get into somewhere, do a flush cut with these. It's going to be a lot more difficult than something like this. Yeah, these aren't too cushy like the Snap-on. They're a little bit stiffer. Yeah, so keep that in mind. I don't know if they're double dipped or not. It just kind of looks a little bit cartoonish. So yeah, when I first saw these, I was like, wow, man, these are just ginormous handles here. So yeah, so definitely not for a tight space like the rest of these. So yeah, maybe something to get into a reach somewhere, or just something you can find. You can clearly see these. You're not going to lose these at least. So that's my thought on that for now. We'll see how these do. I wish I could have brought the Knipex ones I have. I do want to buy another Knipex. I have the straight ones, and I have the ones at a 90-degree angle, and there's also an angle one as well. So maybe I might have some time to do another video later on when I get that one. I have it in my cart right now. But yeah, I wish I could have had that to compare with these. But yeah, this video is already taking too long. So last but not least, we are going to get to the GodHands. And now the hands of God will hand you the most cuttiest flush cutters of them all. The GodHands. GodHandTool.com. Check it out. We have the glittery, authentic tape here. Not open yet. We're going to open this together. And this is not going to be a zip tie cutter. This is not a zip tie cutter. That's why I didn't want to make this a zip tie cutoff. This is definitely a unique tool here. If you want super, super precise plastic cutting of very small objects, as you can see right here, this is it right here. The best of the best. Picked this up off of Amazon, I believe, and it comes in with instruction booklet too as well. This is the seller here, A to Z Toy Hobby. They do hobby toys. This is actually what they are for, and I did buy something we can test it on. This is a Bandai dude right here. I don't know, my daughter picked this out. She wants to cut it out herself, so she's gonna have at it after I do this video, and she's been waiting. So another reason why I had to get this video out. So we'll look into that a little bit real quick and do a couple cuts. So we got a couple examples here, what they're made for, and also you get a little emery little board here. I believe this is for filing off the edges after you cut. This is quite a process here. I just learned all this not too long ago, and yeah, this is quite a plastic cutting process here. So yeah, very, very interesting here. There are two different models of this. I chose to get the best of the best here. This is like a super sharp one. Right here, it shows you the red one here. They're similar in price, around 60 bucks, 50 or 60 bucks each. I think this one's like 63 and this was like almost 50. And this one is, this one's sharper. So this is sharper than the red one. So yeah, I don't know how much of a difference they are. They look very identical. And I believe there's an argument on how this works. You use the red one as a cutter for cutting close to the object first. So you would cut close with the red one. So the red one would dole out, and then you get all the way to the next step with this one as a super sharp one. But before I go over that, let's open it up. Let's get into this and see what it looks like here. Look at the Knipex right here, and we'll get this little stapler out here. And yeah, Knipex can barely grab it, but yeah, here we go. We'll open the bottom here and we'll see what this little white protective cover looks like. So yeah, these are going to be very, very, very brittle. So yeah, look at that, it even holds the top end right there. So I don't want to, these are very intricate little cutters here. We have another booklet in here. Oh, we have more instructions here and tells you how to do it. Looks like they're pretty much the same instructions as the booklet here. We'll go over a little bit in a minute here. Yeah, made in Japan. There's your info right there. I have an email down there. I cannot read any of this. So this is fully Japan. Very nice packaging here. Check out the glitter on that. So yeah, let's get on. These are, wow, these are super tiny. Wow, yeah, it's gonna be very precise work here. The spring feels very consistent. Like a little click in there, but yeah. There is a stopper there, so they're adjustable. And there is another stopper right there, so they don't open all the way. And wow, that is like super tiny here. Let me focus on in there. It looks like they're oiled. Yeah, I saw a couple videos on this. So one of them said to keep them oiled because you don't want any corrosion in there for the consistency of the cut. Yeah, so these do require maintenance, and you're supposed to be able to see a little bit through. You're not, actually, no, you're not supposed to be able to see through them. They're supposed to be stopping right there before you're able to see them. So you adjust them with a, looks like an Allen head right there, maybe. Oh, there's an Allen head right in there. So the Allen head in there, and then you loosen the lock nut and you adjust it just right so you don't see through it. And it's supposed to be just right on the money right there. And you go too far, you can damage these. These are super brittle. And yeah, it comes with a little sock here, little leather sock. And nice and cushioned in there. Nice little bed in there for it to go to sleep at night. Isn't that cute? So yeah, very intricate. There's the GodHand's logo right there. GodHand, little lightning bolt. The SPN 120 is the part number right there. And yeah, they have a nice little vanilla smell to them too. Wow. Yeah, these are just, wow, everything about these are amazing just by even opening it. So yeah, let's test it out and see how this thing does on this little model right here. Let me find a cool piece to cut. All right, so these models are very intricate on the blow molding process. No paint involved. It's all blow molding, no glue and no paint involved. You just put them together, and I guess how precise you cut them determines on how clean you're gonna end up going out. That's the eyeballs right there. Man, that's insane right there. This is made by Bandai. It's a full Japan made model there. So we're dealing with the real deal here. Once again, this is all new to me. So give this a shot. So I'm going to use the Knipex first, and apparently it's best to have a different pair of cutters for doing a first cut. So you do it like a first cut. It's like the Knipex are gliding down in there. But do a first cut there, and then the next process would be to use these. And yeah, you're not supposed to be able to cut them first, although some people do. So it's kind of the argument on it, on doing the first cut with these or not. So yeah, that's a whole argument on that. So basically right here we have the sharp edge. So right down there is a sharp edge, and then there's the cutting board edge. So one edge cuts and the other one doesn't. So this is supposed to eliminate time all the cuts. So some of these models are really insanely detailed with a whole bunch of cutting involved. So this is supposed to ramp down the time it takes to cut. It's supposed to be like a razor blade. That's gonna be sanding right there. All right, so this sword came out pretty clean already, so it's not really a good example to show on this one. So this, you jump straight to an X-Acto knife maybe, and then the emery board. So there's a, like, you could do either 3 or 4 steps. So it'd be a blunt cut, then this cut, and then X-Acto knife, and then the emery board. But this kind of skipped out on this one. I guess the blow mold was actually really good on that one, but I think I could show a little bit better on this one because there is a brittle plastic on it right here, as you can see on the eyeball. And I cut it with the Knipex first, and then next would be with the flush cut. So on this one, you got to be very, very, very careful, and it's going to be slicing that. I don't know if you caught it right there, without damage, because some of these are really, really brittle, and you can end up having to do a glue job on that, and it wouldn't look nice. So let's try it on this one, this eyeball piece right here. So once again, this front piece right here is going to be the razor blade, and the back piece stays there, and it will eliminate you from doing extra steps. See right there, that came out nice. So the backboard is right here, and the X-Acto knife is right here. So you're slicing it after you do your first cut, your primary cut. And this will be your secondary cut. And then you can still go with an X-Acto knife if you want to go even further. And then last step would be the emery board. So yeah, very, very intricate steps. I did not know this was going to be that complicated, but it's always good to have something like this. For, you never know, like for really precision type cutting. I can see this being a nice time consumer right here. If you got time to kill, definitely a good hobby to be into. Once again, sorry about the focus here, but yeah, you just use one as a razor blade and one as a backing board, and yeah, that's this whole system. And it's super, super brittle, super precise, and yeah, definitely cool to own one of these and to experience all this. This video is probably super long, and yeah, definitely cool to check this out. Let's join all these together and have my final thoughts. So there you have it, quite a broad range of flush cutters here. I did not even know that there's this many types out there. Hope you learned something off this video. If anything, one note I wanted to show was that this icon was off a bit. You can see one is ground down more than the other on that. There's a little skinny side on that side, and you can really notice it on this side. It wasn't ground perfect, but it is coated with some kind of a paint or coating on it to prevent rust at least. But yeah, I don't know about these. We'll see. Enough of that. I hope you enjoyed my video, and yeah, thank you for watching, guys. On to the next.